Hey YouTube, coming at you with a team from Obi-Wan Kenobi, very funny name, longtime viewer and subscriber, love your videos and have been wanting to submit for quite some time. I haven't had the best of luck with teams until now. I went 11-4 in 15 games, 8-2 in the first 10. The strategy for this team is to save a shield for Annihilape and usually farm down and get ahead on some energy. I like Toxapex on the lead. It is pretty neutral lead, and the ones that it loses to only by a bit, except for Gastrodon. Yeah, Gastrodon's tough. Morpeko lead is rough because I'm ABA weak to electric. Yes, you are. I usually shield the first, then throw a move and farm down with Annihilape from there. Okay, that makes sense. Overall, great team. Love playing with it. Thank you. No problem. All right. Yep. So they kind of outlined the team. You are double weak to... sorry, the only thing they have not identified is you are double weak to Fairy in the back. You do have Toxapex in the front. Do you need to draw out a Fairy? We'll see how it plays out. Okay. Toxapex into Hitmonchan. Spicy. So counters resisted. Poison jabs neutral. They may have like a Thunder Punch though. So we'll see. Even if it does, it'll be like, I don't know. Okay, it does take you to the yellow. That's quite a hit. Mandibuzz comes in to try and just take a move. So yeah, going with the Sludge Wave here. This will be a good chip. And then are you going to stay in or are you just going to mirror match it? Going to mirror match it. They are running Snarl. You are running Air Slash. So for those of you who do not know, Snarl charges faster. Air Slash hits harder, but charges slower. And in a mirror match, I don't know who the advantage goes to. I've got to imagine that the Air Slash combo with Aerial Ace is better than Snarl Aerial Ace. Because even the pacing on the Aerial Ace is not insanely better. Coming in Hitmonchan, which is crazy. Coming into a flyer, gonna take the move and just basically sacrifice here. Out comes Drapion, so maybe they're just gonna try to shield Drapion here. Aqua Tail comes through, going with the Annihilape. So Poison Jab is resisted. Crunch would hurt, so gonna shield up a move. It is just an Aqua Tail. Going to try and boost your attack here. Resist it or not, yeah, just boost the attack. Going to shield it now because they baited once a potential crunch, but the Annihilape, yeah, the Mandibuzz has some aerial aces here, but both of the Pokemon are pretty dang low now. So do get the counter down and get the counter down there. Opponent saving 2 shield for some reason. Okay. Nope, not Annihilape. Primeape. So counter, no, Karate Chop is resisted. Rage Fist, you definitely let the first one go. If they're staying in, you probably let the second one go too, if they're just going to stay in this matchup. Yeah. Okay, just let this one go and then shield up the third one, but you should be able to get a Brine off before this third one comes. Yep. Just like this. This will force a shield. They may force it to take it to the ones here. Yeah, because you're going to kind of have to shield. I mean, you don't have to. You could do your strategy and come Annihilate, but I don't know if you'd be able to counter down before they get another Rage Fist off, so you'd have to burn a shield and then lose Switch. So I don't know if that's actually worth it. I think shielding and taking Switch is probably better. Golisopod, yeah, you got to stay in here. Someone asked me this, like, how do you, sometimes you say don't get farmed down, and other times you say get farmed down and like stay in. So this is a prime example of when you'd have to stay in because you have Annihilape in the back, which is weak to Shadow Claw, and counters are resisted. Whereas Mandibuzz, you have a super effective Air Slash and Claws are resisted. So you need to align on Mandibuzz. If you had like 2 neutral Pokemon, yeah, maybe don't get as farmed down as much going to 1, but because Annihilape has such a bad matchup and Mandibuzz has such a good matchup, you basically just stand that Toxapex to ensure switch. Try for the farm down, did not quite get it. You have energy. Gonna shield to save that energy. Annihilape is Shadow. I forgot to add that. What's in the back? Chestnut. Well, this, so getting a move off here. Frenzy will take you out as a Shadow. Yeah, they tried to hold on as long as they could. Frenzy should take out from here. Goodbye. Do they have another move? You have a move. Getting off this Aerial Ace to take this out. Not wanting to take any sort of move. Although you would have lost CMP, so it wouldn't have mattered. But no, 3 turn versus 2 turns, you definitely throw the move. Okay, there is the very tough Morpeko. So I would shield up the first electric and let the dark go. Yeah, so shielding that up, getting to a brine here. The dark Aura Wheel's still gonna hurt because it's boosted, right? And these Thunder Shocks are adding up. Going to let it go. My concern is if you take an Aura Wheel, you may be in Thunder Shock range. And now they're gonna have energy. Yeah, that's my only concern. And now, okay, I thought they could get to a Psychic Fangs, which would have done. And there is a fairy in Azumarill. So this is gonna be tough. Getting 1 Rage Fist off. That does a decent amount of damage. Counters are resisted, but they're boosted now. Might want to commit the shield. Yeah, gonna commit the shield to get the second Rage Fist off. And then what do we do here? Do we want to try to save Annihilape, or are we just gonna let it go and then try an Air Slash Mandibuzz? They let it go. That's interesting. Yeah, so gonna come Mandibuzz, and they come in with Gallade, which is weak to flying. Close combat's not going to take out, so they top left. Kind of lucky on the back alignment there. Azumarill lead, fantastic. They're going to have to get out because you have the hardest answer. There we go. Finally get into Mandibuzz. So going to chip and then align here. Maybe caught a foul play or Dark Pulse. Maybe no. They do just go Aerial Ace. So I think if it were me, I would have thrown the Sludge Wave. And the only reason I say that is because you really want to keep alignment here. And the fact that you allowed them to get so much energy now makes this actually like a really closer matchup than it needs to be. Because you can see you're basically at the same health now. So now it's just a timing issue for who's going to get to the moves first. So I think it would probably be better just to have Sludge Wave to ensure that you're going to keep Switch. Because you really want to keep Toxapex on Azumarill, and you do not want your Annihilape to see it. So now we're low. Now if I were them, oh, they're so dumb. They're so dumb. Sorry, opponent. If I were them, it looks like they were like 1 or 2 air slashes ahead of you. I would double shield and flip switch to not have this alignment. But not only did they not do that to fight for switch, they decided to go back into the Azumarill, which has absolutely zero play at all against Toxapex. So baffling to say the least, and double shielding their Azumarill. Oh my. Okay, so just taking all these moves, may try and snipe or catch or just go down. Oh my. Okay, so taking out the Azumarill, they finally come back in. They're gonna have to throw a move. You can, I guess at this point you're just gonna go 2 shield Annihilape, assuming they don't have a second fairy in the back. You may even want to, okay, I was gonna say instant swap, but I guess they do have a Toxapex though. I guess the only benefit to you is that Poison Jab is also resisted because you're Ghost. And with 2 shields, you'll just be very easy be able to shield the Brines up and just out Rage Fists and counter this out. Because your opponent is crazy and gave up switch to go back into an Azumarill into a Toxapex. So you don't even need to shield this. You'll live this. What is your opponent doing? Okay. Toxapex into Gastrodon. So immediately you need to go into Annihilape. And met with a Toxapex. So here's the thing. This seems like one that I would double shield Annihilape and try and flip switch. Poison Jabs are resisted. These Rage Fists, they're going to have to start shielding. And these counters are starting to add up. And maybe you'll be able to flip switch into 2 shield. I'm not sure about if they go Brine, what's that? 16 and 14 is, oh boy, math. Okay, a lot of math. But you only go 12, so 12, 24, 36, 48. Yeah, I think it's worth every bit to fight here for this swap. And they let it go. They let you take it in the 1, just trying to slap you down. But get to a move. So this will grab a shield, but then you get Mandibuzz on it. So that was a good fight for you. 100% worth the fight. And you grab the shield, and you got alignment here. It is a Drapion in the back. So Drapion is actually quite tough, but you know what? It does not matter. You're just trying to chip as much as you can. Poison Jab and Brine as much as you can here. Try to chip it. And then, why are we going Resisted Sludge Wave? There's no way Resisted Sludge Wave is better than Brine here. Is it? The Sludge Wave, I know Brine's garbage, and every single video I say how garbage Brine is. Is a Resisted Sludge Wave actually better than Brine? Toxapex against a Drapion. And let's see here. Brine does 32 damage, and Sludge Wave does 37 damage. Yeah, so I guess it resisted. If you're only going to get to one, if you got to 2 Brines, obviously 2 Brines. If you're only going to get to 1 move, then it is, I guess, Sludge Wave, because it does 5 more damage. But yeah, once you fought for Switch and got this alignment here, it was fantastic to win the game. Okay. Toxapex into Pelipper. Yeah, interesting one. Because the poison jabs are obviously going to add up. Now we're playing a bait game for both of you. Hurricane versus Sludge Wave, both nukes. Both will hurt. They do land the Hurricane. Does not quite take out because Toxapex is huge. If they shield though, yeah, this is where it's going to get tricky because they're going to be able to, you might throw Brine. You got to chip, man. You got to know that they're going to take you out. They are going to have another Weather Ball. So they're going to win CMP here. For sure they should have another Weather Ball. I think they were like over farming a bit. But do manage to take Swap, which is huge because you need to align Annihilape on this Lantern. You will get hit with the Surf. You can live a Surf, so I probably just let this go. It does quite a lot of damage. Now you're going to have a decision because they're going to let this go and they're going to get to a move before you. So the question is, do you have to shield because you have Mandibuzz in the back? Yeah, you kind of do, right? Try to commit to the farm down. Barely get it. And thankfully, it is a Chestnut in the back. Double weak to flying. Good read that you had to shield because you couldn't really take any sparks on the Mandibuzz and try and take that matchup. Okay, we've seen this matchup in reverse. It's kind of a weird one. Both fast moves are resisted. They're just going to try and Rage Fist boost through this. You've only got Brine. So we will see. So another Rage Fist will come. You will live and get a Brine off. My only concern is if they shield, they may be able to... they may be... Yeah. Considering you're just at the move, they're going to be able to shield and counter down if they want to. Which is going to leave you in a bit of a tricky situation because they are loaded with energy. You do get the Air Slash through, so that's big. Close combat would hurt. It is just another Rage Fist. That's unfortunate, but do farm down. Lost Switch, though, so we'll see what they have. Greninja. So obviously counter user would be better here, but this isn't the worst. They're both 3-turn fast moves, so you get that through. Hydro Cannon is going to hurt, but you'll live, obviously. Can they outpace you to the next move, though, is the question. Yes. Can you live this move? I think yes, but opting to say you're not going to live this move. Okay. You should probably instant swap to try to... Going to undercharge here. Hoping to catch it off guard. You do catch it off guard, but just leave it alive. It is a skunk in the back. So counters are neutral. Poison jabs are resisted. It is a shadow, so Flamethrower and Trailblaze maybe crunch. Either way, you'll probably live everything. Oh no, Flamethrower almost takes you out. And now losing CMP here. Or maybe they got it on like the 8 versus your 9, crunching you out. Yeah, that was tough. Oh man, Toxapex mirror match. So this is rough. Okay. How are you guys doing? I should ask my question of the day now. So are people playing? I saw a couple on comments on my videos being like, I'm taking this week off. I mentioned in my video the other day that I haven't played since last Thursday. I still haven't played since the start of this week. So what are we on here? Yeah, this will go up Thursday. I'm Wednesday. I'm filming this Wednesday. It's going up on Thursday. I haven't played yet, so I haven't played GBL in 6 days. You know, make the game somewhat interesting. You going for the Sludge Wave here? Yeah, Brian may be enough. Jeez. I don't love that. You're going to have to... Yeah, Brian would have been enough. I don't love shielding that. And they're just going to take the shield advantage, and it is Morpeko. So, okay. Glad... I mean, good to get the alignment here. And they eventually get into the Chestnut, so holy alignment win. Okay. You honestly just let these go. Let those back-to-back superpowers go and then just counter down. Now you got to burn the switch clock because they're just going to try and farm down. You can just go air release. I mean, I guess they're the same anyway, so it doesn't... Yeah, okay, fine. They're the same. Foul play is probably a better move than air release, and it's the same... It's the same pacing, so it does not matter. But yeah, burn the switch clock and take them out. Whiscash, terrible lead. Annihilape here. What are we going to be met with? They may Scald you first, yeah. Or Mud Bomb. Maybe a Mud Bomb to chip and then align something here. So there's the Mud Bomb. That does a lot of damage. You know what? If they're going to stay in here and not shield and just take you out, they could have multiple answers in the back. So you're going to shield and try and farm down, which is fine. My only concern is they're going to have multiple answers to Toxapex in the back here. So Dugong coming in. Letting that go. Taking so much damage. Holy smokes. They will have Drill Run, but... And then Morpeko on the back. Ooh, you just instant swapped out of your... Yeah. See? They have... That's... I mean, it's unlucky that it's Morpeko because this game is essentially just like over. If anything, if you wanted to try and fight again, I think this game's over, but you definitely shield up the first Aura Wheel next time if you want to have a chance here, because that is that's not the damage you take. You take the resisted dark as opposed to the super effective electric. But those are the reads you need to make, right? Whiscash, Gastrodon are the hardest answers to Toxapex. The only reason you don't get out of that Annihilape matchup, I guess there's two reasons. One is you have a second answer for Toxapex, which they did. But also the other reason is they're double weak to fighting. So they were ABB weak to fighting. And luckily for them, they got their Whiscash on your fighter and can just sweep the rest elsewhere. Okay, so you grab one shield, they grab one shield. You have to let this go. Again, like last time, my only concern... Oh, they go for Psychic Fangs. I do not like that. Always go for the Aura Wheel. Allowing you to get to a move. Yeah, that was a mistake on their part. And now they have to shield and give up Switch. I mean, it's just a mirror match anyway, so it's not too bad of an issue, but do not like how your opponent is playing this out right now. Just taking a quick look to see if you guys have said anything on the videos. Yeah, so we'll just do like, because there's a minute left in this battle, and your opponent already screwed it up, so you're going to win this. Day Hughes. So I did not watch the trainer tips video. So trainer tips, one of the OG Pokemon Go creators, who doesn't post much at all anymore. he had a meeting with Niantic to talk about their sale of Scopely. And Day Hughes wrote, in the interview, Scopely, he said that apparently some of the things that they want to work on with Scopely is exploring ways to improve competitive gameplay GBL and addressing technical stability concerns, including PvP. So time will tell what they do and how quickly they will do them. This is... I never understood... I mean, look, I do understand why at times Niantic put no effort into GBL. Because one, they were focused on the AR aspect of the game, so they want you to go out. And two, realistically, the money comes from raids, incubators, hatching eggs. So to actually maximize profitability, you do not want people to be playing GBL in their house all the time. So I get it from the wanting your data, wanting you to spend money in the game. Again, I argue that if you're going to play GBL and want to play Master League and stuff like that, you need to go get these XL Pokemon, so you'll still be doing raids anyways. And hatching eggs for like when like Corsola was locked. Like you need that Corsola. You needed the Corsola for Great League at the time. So again, I don't think that argument is fully true, but there is some like argument to be made on that end. Given how big the trading card game is, and how big, and now being in the Pokemon play championships and stuff like that, I'm really surprised. And how big fighting and battling is to Pokemon, I'm really surprised that Niantic did not put any sort of real effort into GBL. It seems like a huge untapped market with more potential in the long run. If you have a very, like, obviously focus on the other parts of your game, but like if you have a very competitive, healthy battling system in your Pokemon game, that is attractive to people. So I don't know. Again, I always talk about this story. When GBL first came out, it was like 90% of the player base was playing. I remember doing raids at lunch, and there was 40 people there. 38 of them were talking about GBL, like, which Pokemon are you using? What about these matchups? Stuff like that. Like, it was very, very big when it came out, and then it just like fell off a cliff. Yeah, because I'm really surprised they didn't put a little more effort into this. But maybe Niantic just, you know, as you see, they've already sold out of the thing, so they probably did not want to put a bunch of research. Again, GBL is the most technical part of the game, so they would probably have to put a lot of resources into it, which would not meet their end goal. So I get it from that perspective, but seems like a missed opportunity. So we will see what Scopely actually does with this. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.